Maina, self-admittingly, may not, in the strictly human sense, be the most organized guy out there.
Pete, I love the new boat. It's very organized, as always.
You see the welcome mat up there?
I do.
But when it comes to Muskies, one of his greatest strengths is being able to take fishing situations that would seem complex and use both reason and his experience to give you the best possible information so that you yourself can go out and increase your chances of catching more muskies.
When you've got 3 people casting for muskies, especially so in the spring when the fish tend to suspend real high in the water column and deeper water, whether you're on a natural lake or a reservoir, we happen to be on a reservoir here today, kind of a river system because it's a cold front. Generally the cold fronts don't bother these river fish quite as much, but what we've got here is a pretty unique deal. We've actually got an area here where we're right along the edge of the river channel, and I can work this edge, and I've got Jim and Ricky actually tossing up into the slop across the edge of the break and working that part of the water column. And I've got a fairly thin river channel out here, which is really nice because I can pretty much cover it all myself. Anytime you have a situation where you can reach an edge and fish the normal kind of standard shallow type of situation with a couple of anglers, it's always best to have the other guy, unless you really know there's a pattern, shallow or vice versa, you want to have the other person accessing that deep water with a little bit deeper presentation. But it's also important to note that you don't need to get that deep this time of year too. You don't necessarily have to get down real deep in the water column. In fact, sometimes you may end up fishing underneath the fish. So work both. When you've got a situation like this with a real sharp break, work together, work both sides and see if you can pattern the fish.
Working together casting to break down and cover water is definitely helping Pete, Jim, and Rick to better pattern the muskies. But sharing the bonus action off a live bait rig while casting not only serves up some additional patterning information for depths and active fish spots, but has been great for keeping the action up every step of the way.
I'm gonna get that up. He's quite a ways out there, so I'm gonna start up and we're gonna drive right over the top of him, buddy. What's the deal? You got it? There you go, man. That's cool. All right, Jimbo. Oh, he's not a bad one.
No. We finally got Martha to take a little walk.
Yeah, Martha. Get him out from underneath that boat, Jim. Get him, Ricky. Get him, buddy. All right, well, hey, you know, we're not monsters, but it's fun, huh?
Yeah.
Let me get you the pliers. Yep. There you go, man.
Yeah, we'll get this guy unhooked here. It's not hooked too terribly bad.
That's perfect, then.
Yeah, there he is.
He's wrestling with you, man.
Yep.
There you go. Good job.
Yeah, another decent little Hayward muskie here.
Yeah, that was fun, boy.
Yeah.
Talk about staying shallow.
I know.
Right on top of them like that. Wow.
Yeah, we better get this one back too.
Yeah, get him back in, dude.
All right, get him going good.
Oh. Ah.
Real deal. Real fishing information from real fishing experts. Presented by Amsoil.
One of the most effective rigs for walleye fishing is a simple spinner rig, or some people call them a night crawler harness. Now what makes these rigs so effective is that they draw fish in from a long way away. They do that by having this blade spinning in the water, throwing off a vibration. Now one of the things that's also great about a spinner is that you can fish it in all different kinds of situations. For example, if you want to fish it on structure down close to the bottom, you run it behind a bottom bouncer and get it right down in the fish zone. If you want to fish for suspended fish, open water fish, then you can run it by some kind of a weight like a pro weight or an inline fish weight. Now one of the things that I've always done for my career is I always hand tied my own spinners. And the reason for that is I feel like you can give yourself a big advantage by using the right components. First of all, you want to look at using the right style of hook. You want a wide gapped hook, but not a real long shank. And the reason for that is it makes it lightweight, but gives you a big gap for hooking that fish. Next, I'm going to put on some very bright beads. I like to use holographic beads because they shine better, they show off better in the water. I'm going to put on top of that a quick change clevis so that I can move around and change around my blades very quickly. And then of course the blade is very, very important. You want a deep cupped blade, you'll see that in the back here, but you also want something that's very shiny. I like holographics. This is a new holographic called an oil slick holographic. It makes it look more realistic and more alive. And then of course you tie the whole thing together with about a 4-foot chunk of 100% fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is very tough, very clear, but because it's so clear, you can actually go to a heavier pound test and get a more durable rig. Now, why do I bring up all of these different components? Like I said, I've been tying these spinners for years. The thing that's really great this next year is that Berkley has went out and actually built rigs for us designed by Gary Parsons and I. They're called a flicker rig. They've got all the components I talked about, and you'll notice that they have the name flicker in them, kind of like our flicker shads. They took a lot of the same color combinations that are proven to catch a lot of walleye. So continue to tie your own spinners. It's a great thing to do. Use the right components. But if you're like me and you want to do more fishing in less tying, you might want to try a flicker rig next year and catch a bunch of walleyes.